Alrighty, I'm here with head coach Carol Price-Torok and Taylor Gaines for their weekly press conference. Coach, if you want to get us started with an opening statement.
Yeah, I we had a tough week for the Roadrunners this week at North Texas, a tough four-setter, and then one of the top teams in the conference, Rice at home, and did some really great things statistically in some of our categories, which we can talk about from the service line, passing and defensively, and just continuing to stay on the grind to find points and to kill the ball and find things on the offensive side of things. So two tough teams, and that's how conference is when you're playing multiple games on the road and then come home and have to play a tough opponent, is just trying to make sure that we keep our legs underneath us and just keep the mentality of finding a way to score points. And that'll be the big thing, working this week is continue to add to the service line and our defensive things and turn those into point scoring opportunities at the front line.
With 6 games under your belt in conference play, where would you evaluate the team and what do you see to improve upon?
I think the biggest thing right now is just staying the course offensively. We are doing some really great things. I think we have a tendency to get a little frustrated when things aren't going our way and just continue to try to find ways to score points. So practice-wise, that'll be a big focus this week, is just getting back into the gym, getting back into a groove of being confident, going for the points, going for the balls when we don't have it. What can we do? How can we manage a little bit better? Because again, statistically, we're doing everything we need to do. We just got to get a little bit more confidence behind our swings and put our attackers in better situation to score points.
Taylor, in your freshman year, having a standout year, how would you evaluate your game and what have you learned from, just your first year being in college?
Honestly, I've just been going out there and I've just been trying to do my job, and my teammates have helped me a lot with that because they trust me and it makes me trust myself. And so I think that's just one of the main things. It makes me feel more confident as a player on and off the court. So
As a young team coach, kind of what do you look for in these young players to kind of grow upon during the season, or do you just kind of let them play their game?
It's a combination. Right now I just conversations of, what do you need? How are you feeling? We watch a lot of film together, some individual films, film as a group, setters and hitters together, and just trying to continue to stay on the same page with what's going on, and just continue to build them up because what they're doing is great. And we're doing some really high level things. And we just want to make sure is, what's making you tick in this situation here, in this game, what were you thinking? What can we do? And what do you need from this situation? And, how can we help that in a practice setting? So some of it is just we got to get out of the way and just let them play volleyball and be volleyball players. Sometimes I think we're trying to execute the scout to a T, and volleyball is just so fluid that they need to just relax a little bit and just be volleyball players. So, and I think that stuff just comes as you continue to get more games under you and you play more along in the season. Is, hey, just relax and do what you know how to do, and we'll make adjustments from there and just continue to trust yourself and what's going on around you.
Oh shoot, I forgot. Coach, you are, we have hosting 2 more conference opponents this weekend, and we've had really good crowds in our conference games. How does that play an impact in the game itself?
I think just the belief that this community and our students and the department has in our players. It's volleyball is a fun game. It's fast paced. There's a lot of point scoring. The girls are diving all over the place. Big blocks. Great serving, and it's fun to be a part of. The atmosphere is fun to be a part of. We had the band there this weekend. They had it rocking and rolling. So I think when you come out, you're not disappointed. You're going to see a fast style of play, fun cheers, fun celebrations. They have all these nicknames. They call Taylor Tea Time, and they're just all these things that happen, and we just want that to extend into the bleachers and into the stands, and for people to feel how exciting it is to be in the convo watching a volleyball game and watching our players fly around and do what they love to do, and do it at a high level. And it's competitive volleyball, and on any given night, any team in our league can be anybody. And we're seeing that this year with the different teams kind of jockeying up and down in the standings right now. So it's just a fun time to be a part of this conference and a fun time to come watch us play.
Taylor, as a player, how is it, as a player in those environments with big, loud crowds and the band and everything?
I honestly like it just builds our momentum a lot. So even when you lose a point, it doesn't even feel like that because people are still just like cheering you on. And honestly, it's just a really good environment to be a part of. And whenever you get those big points, it helps your momentum no matter, even if you're still losing or down, it doesn't feel like you're down because the environment is just so loud and it's just, again, amazing to be a part of.
Taylor, who on the team have you kind of looked to at for guidance, just for in player to player relationships or anything like that?
Honestly, I did look up to Caroline Kruger a lot, and it was very unfortunate what happened to her with her ACL and that kind of stuff. But once she hasn't been here, I have looked up to Allie Tribe. Kind of, I feel like we play kind of a similar game, so we're always talking on the court and serve receive, hitting wise, what's open, what's not open. I feel like we play the same position, so I feel like we just always have a lot of communication going on. So I think that she's a person that I would say.
Awesome. All righty. Thank you, everyone.